being present to the moment connects you more deeply to the experience of what you're experiencing, and it almost turns off the thinking mind in a way. And when you connect to the present moment, your sense perceptions become stronger. Your visual perception becomes much more vibrant. Colors will become more vibrant. You'll begin to hear and see more clearly. You'll begin to think a lot less. And if you do think something, it will affect you a lot less. And then you'll make a choice to redirect your focus and awareness back to the present moment. And when you're present to the moment, your life becomes a lot better. Everything becomes more heightened. Your awareness and your perception of reality becomes much more clear. And you see things not through the perception of the thinking mind, but you see it just as it is. And you begin to connect to the experience of what you're experiencing, not through the thinking mind. Because when people say be present to the moment, I feel that this word lost a lot of meaning in society, and that we use this word very loosely, and that in fact this word has a lot more power than people realize. Because what does it really mean to be present to the moment? What does that really mean? People use this word so much that they lost the experience of being present to the moment, and it's just an idea. It's just an idea of being present. But what I'm proposing to you is that being present to the moment is something that you can practice and get better at, and that you can have a more deep experience in life. You can have a stronger sense of peace, a stronger sense of, everything's okay. And whatever happens in my life, it's all good because I'm just going to see it as it is. I'm not going to over-exaggerate anything. I'm not going to make things worse than they are. I'm not going to, add more problems. I'm just going to see things as they are. And I'm going to connect more deeply to the experience. And I'm just going to see things as they are. You're going to live a more stoic lifestyle. And this is so powerful because when you connect to the present moment, life situations aren't going to affect you as much. Whether something good or bad happens, you're just going to remain neutral. And you're not going to lose anything by doing this. You're not going to lose the experience. You're actually going to connect more deeply to the experience because you're going to see things as they are. And whatever happens in your life, you're going to be able to just kind of remain calm and neutral regardless of what happens. And you're going to be able to chase your goals in a much more easier way with less resistance. And you're going to be able to just connect with what is happening and not overly exaggerate or overreact to the life situation. You're going to be able to talk to people in a much more free and peaceful way. Because how many times does something happen to you and then you overreact to it and then make things worse than they really are? And then something good happens and you overreact to that too. You get overly excited. You get way too excited, and then when that thing is done, well, what happens? Now your emotions go down. Because at the other end of that spectrum where you were super excited, well, at the other end of that, you're just going to be super depressed. And you're always going to be subject to go back and forth between, very good things happening and very bad things happening. But what I'm proposing is that you can live a more stoic lifestyle where you just non-judgmentally see the moment for what it really is. That's what it means to be mindful and be connected to the present moment, is to be non-judgmental of the moment, not label it as good or bad, but simply just see it as it is. Can you just see something as it is without filtering it through the perception of your mind and the labels and the mental images and, saying this is good and this is bad and creating all these distinctions and all these separations? Well, can you just see something for what it really is, just as it is? Can you just go to nature and just view the tree as it is? Just a tree, but not labeling it as a tree, but just see it for the experience. In a similar way, can you go through life experiences, life situations, and just see them as they are, just as it is, not through the interpretation of the mind? Because a lot of times in life, something happens and it's just a neutral situation. You might go through something and something bad might happen, and sure, it might be bad, but if you take a step back and look at what's really happening, maybe it's not as bad as you think. Maybe you could just see it for what it really is. Maybe it's just neutral. Maybe we don't need to add so much suffering. Because I'm not saying that problems don't happen in life. I'm saying that we don't need to add more problems and suffering than necessary. And sometimes we do create the problem. Sometimes we create the problem and we literally just create it in our head. Sometimes there might be something bad happening in your life, something might be tough, and you're adding more problems to it. And when you're present to the moment, you will begin to connect more deeply to the experience. You're going to get a sense of peace, sense of calmness, and not feel so, bogged down by all these thoughts and all these emotions. You're just going to see reality for what it really is. So the way you become present to the moment is by connecting more deeply to the experience. A great way to become present to the moment is simply to just, feel the sensation of your breath. Connect to a sense perception. A breath is one of them. Another way is to see the moment visually for what it really is. Just see the moment visually. Can you just look at something and just see it? Just look at it and try not to think. Try not to think. If you catch yourself thinking, try to just go back to the moment of the perception itself. Awareness without thinking. Another way to enter the moment is to just simply hear the sounds that you're listening to without thinking about them. All right? And Alan Watts talks about this in one of his guided meditations, and this actually opened up my mind. I was watching Alan Watts' meditation, and what I heard him say was, a great way to get into a meditative state is to simply hear the sounds of the world without thinking about them. Because there's always some sounds. When you just begin to have a listening, when you listen to the sounds, you begin to connect more deeply to the present moment. And in the same way, when you can just begin to feel the sensations of what's happening and see them and hear them and just see things as they are in the moment, you'll begin to get a sense of peace. You'll feel this yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. When you begin to connect to the experience of what's happening, you're going to start to feel a sense of peace within you. And then it doesn't take long before the thinking mind comes in and starts to, label and interpret everything. What you want to do there is just observe the mind and make a choice to go back to the present moment. Go back to the present moment. Just see it for what it really is, man. Not as anything good or bad. Just try to mindfully not judge things. Just see them. Experience them. Make a difference between experiencing something and thinking about something. Because the moment you make this distinction and you connect to the experience of something rather than thinking about something, what happens is something powerful. Because you connect more deeply to the experience of what you're seeing through the sense perceptions, not through the thinking mind. Because you don't need to be thinking as much as you are right now. 80% to 90% of your thoughts don't serve you. And you can make a choice to go to the present moment instead of thinking about everything. And that's how you become present to the moment. You connect deeply to the experience and you try to think less. But then if you do think, you observe that and you don't judge that either. You become more of the observer of life. First of all, the observer of your thoughts, but then the observer of the situation that's happening to you. Not to identify with everything that's happening, but to simply observe it and experience it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope this video gave you some value. Hope this video gave you some benefit. Have yourself a great day. Done.